what happens to those people who have different faith. They're different from what we practice, and they do it faithfully. So, question is, where do they end up, and how are they treated? So, so we read all that, and we got some of the answers from Lord Krishna himself, from verse 2 on, how the people in different faiths, uh, those who are in Sattva Guna, those who are in Rajo Guna, and those who are in Tamo Guna, how they end up with different kinds of worship and where their destination might be. Only those in total pure goodness or Shuddha Tattva, uh, or practicing Krishna consciousness, or uh, or through other avenues such as Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, they all get to a certain point. Uh, but of all these, Krishna consciousness is the best in our parampara anyway. And so uh, now we are getting to the point where uh, different uh, when uh, when uh, when you have people in because the human being, we're all subject to the material modes, prakriti, and as a result, depending on the modes that we are in, either goodness, passion, or ignorance, even the food that we eat, even the austerities that we perform, the sacrifices, charities are all different. So we're going to find out starting with this verse 7. So, yeah. Okay, let me start by reading verse 7 and then others can follow. Aharastvapi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha yagnas tapastata dhanam tesham vedam imam shrunu. Would like to go next?
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
Ahara aharastappapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyaha yagyastapa danam tesham veda mimim shuno. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Would you like to do it again? Next.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then I'll also try Prabhuji.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna devotees, then let's now Krishna. Aharastvapi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha yajnastapastatadhanam tesham vedam imau shuno. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone else like to read?
My wife will read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can try Prabhuji.
Oh, please, Mother.
आहारस्त्वा अपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदम् इमं शृणु. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Last chance. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will try.
Okay.
आहारस्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञास्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदम् इमं शृणु.
Thank you, Mataji. Who would like to read the synonyms and translations?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I like to read. Prabhuji, can I read the sloka one more time and then synonyms translation? I mean, can I read the sloka and then synonym translation?
Yeah, sure. Please.
आहारस्त्वापि सर्वस्य त्रिविधा भवति प्रियः यज्ञास्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु. synonyms and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Aharaha, eating. 2. Certainly. Api, also. Sarvasya, of everyone. Trividaha, of three kinds. Bhavati, there is. Priyaha, dear. Yagnas, yagna, sacrifice. Tapaha, austerity. Tatha, also. Danam, charity. Tesam, of them. Bhedam, the differences. Imam, this. Shrinu, here. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Even the food each person prefers is of three kinds, according to the three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now hear of the distinctions between them. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. Okay, it's a short purport, so one devotee can read it. Let's see who's on the call. Kushmori, Prabhu, you'd like to read it?
Yeah, sure. In terms of different situations in the modes of material nature, there are differences in the manner of eating and performing sacrifices, austerities, and charities. They are not all conducted on the same level. Those who can understand analytically what kind of performances are in what modes of material nature are actually wise. Those who consider all kinds of sacrifice or food or charity to be the same cannot discriminate, and they are foolish. There are missionary workers who advocate that one can do whatever he likes and attain perfection. But these foolish guides are not acting according to the direction of the scripture. They are manufacturing ways and misleading the people in general.
Thank you, Prabhu. You'd like to add anything to this?
Mm, I can't think of anything for
Okay, all
this.
right. It's okay. Anyone else would like to say something on this purport? This verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yeah, this is wonderful shloka. Again, of course, Prabhuji, you can explain better, but we can see that here Prabhupada is saying that even the food each person prefers, like are three kinds, like, sometimes some people try to eat very, very spicy.
So Prabhu class. Wow.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead,
Yeah, yeah.
Harini Mother.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So, all kinds of sacrifice, I mean, basically, overall, Prabhuji, whatever, we cook, we have to first offer it to the Lord. And of course, we should not cook, anything or everything. It has to be sattvic food, and we have to offer to the Lord and take that as prasadam. But as we know, sometimes people, try to, rajasic food, and sometimes even we can see, they in some places they even offer non-vegetarian, like, I mean, we have seen, right, sacrifices. So those are all in ignorance. And of course, very spicy, very pungent, all those things are also not good, passionate. So we should always try to be as sattvic as possible. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this verse is kind of general. It's not getting into the details of the food yet. That will be coming up soon. Uh, so it's saying basically that the different uh, food that we eat, the different kinds of food that we eat, sacrifice, charity, austerities, if there is a difference between how different people do it or what kind of food they eat. So if we don't, uh, if we don't, those who are wise, uh, what Prabhupada is saying here is those who are wise understand what the differences are. and how those who are in mode of goodness, uh, they eat certain kind of food or they perform certain kind of austerity, and how the more people in the mode of passion and ignorance do it differently. And the people who eat anything they want or do charity without any purpose or just give it for the sake of giving it, then it has no value. Such people don't really understand what the difference is, and Prabhupada is saying such people are foolish. On top of that, there are fake uh, gurus and so on, and they, for the sake of materialistic gain, they are going to tell their disciples uh, they can eat anything they want. There's no problem at all, and so such people are actually uh, giving them a one-way ticket to hell. So that's not going to work. So this is actually a very important topic, and we really need to understand what is the type of food that we are supposed to eat. Why is it so important uh, to have the food sanctified? That is offering it to Krishna, and when it becomes a prasadam, and then we eat that. So it's not just arbitrarily eating anything we want. It's not that way at all. So this the the verses coming up are going to teach us a lot. And uh, yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say on this. If no one has anything else, we can go on to the next few verses, which are going to be talking about in detail about the food. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I'll take that as a yes. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So now we'll read verse 8, 9, and 10 because the next two verses don't have any purport. Verse 10 has the purport in it, and that is the long purport which covers 8, 9, and 10. So let me start off with this. Verse 8. Ayuhu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasya snigdha stira ridya ahara sattvika priyaha. Okay. Who would like to
I
go
can,
ahead, Madam?
Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead.
17.8 Bhagavad Gita. Ayu satya balarogya sukha priti vivardhana rasya snigdha stira ridya aharaha sadhika priya. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhana rasya snigdha stira hrudya ahara satvika priya. Back to Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandar Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. This is the Sattvika, by the way. A is
Satvika.
emphasized. Sattvika.
Satvika Priya.
Yeah,
Satvika Priya. Okay. Hare Krishna.
thank you. Okay. Would anyone else like to try?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
Ayuh sattva rogya sukha prativivardhanaha rasyaha snigdha sthira ridya ahara satvika priyaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Who would
Hare
like to
Krishna
read the?
Prabhuji. I
Yeah,
will read
go ahead.
the
If you want.
synonyms. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Prabhuji, yeah. Synonyms. Ayu, duration of life. Sattva, existence. Bala, strength. Arogya, health. Sukha, happiness. Preeti and satisfaction. Vivardhanaha increasing. Rasya juicy. Snigdha fatty. Sthira enduring. Hrudaya pleasing to the heart. Ahara food. Satvika to one in goodness. Priya palatable. Translation by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So there's no purport in this, but I'll just comment a little bit and then we'll go on. Then we'll come back again when we read the purport. So the sattvic foods are sattvic ahara or sattvic foods, as described here, are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So when we eat such foods, the result of it is that they're the sattvic, so they're in the mode of goodness. They increase our duration of life, and that's obviously very important. Purify one's existence and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. So when it says purify one's existence, this is very important because our existence is, we try to, uh, uh, for practicing, for spiritual practice, this is very important, purifying one's existence. If we eat the wrong kind of food, then it's going to upset our mind and so on, and we can't really practice spirituality. So it's very important. So we'll get to all that. So let me go on to text 9 and start with this. Katva amla laknati usnatiksna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasya yesta dukasoka maya pradaha. Okay, who would like to read this?
I can try, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees in the psalm. Hare Krishna. Katva amla lavante usna tikshana rusika vidahina ahara rajaseshta dukkha shokamaya prada.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you.
Prabhuji. Can I try, Prabhuji?
Okay.
Kat, kat, katvi. Can you help
Katva.
me, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Katva.
Katva amla lavanatya osna tiksna ruksa vidahina ahara rajasasyasta dukkha sokha maya prada. Back to Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranam.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to try?
I will try Prabhu. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
please.
Tatvamla lavanatyushna तीक्ष्ण रूक्ष विदाहिनः आहारा राजसायेष्टा दुःख दुःख दुःखसोखामयप्रदा.
Thank you, Madaji. Who would like to read the synonyms and translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would like to read if you allow me.
Please, please.
Dandavat pranam to everybody. Khatu, bitter. Amla, sour. Lavana, salty. Ativushna, very hot. Tikshna, pungent. Raksha, dry. vidaihinah, burning, adhara, food, raj, rajasaya, to one in the mood of passion, ista, palatable, dukkha, distress, soka, misery, dhamaya, disease, pradah, causing. Translation: foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
We'll be discussing all this. We'll come back to it. Okay, this is this, and then we'll go on to the purport and this will describe everything. So, verse 10, Yata yamam gatarasam puti parishyuttam chaya ucchistam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Would like to recite this?
I can try.
Yeah.
Yata yamam gatarasam puti prayustam jayata uchaistam apichametyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Who else? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read
Yeah, please go ahead.
the 7.10. Yata yamam gatarasam पूतिपारुषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टम् अपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसा प्रियम्.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Okay, go ahead.
Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryusitam chayat uthistam api chamidyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Back to Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandapana.
Thank you, Mataji. Who would like to read the synonyms and translation and then synonyms and translation, then we'll read the purport. So first synonyms and translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I will try them.
Yeah.
Yatayamam, food cooked 3 hours before being eaten. Gata rasam, tasteless. Puti, bad smelling. Paryushitam, decomposed. Cha, also. Yat, that which. Uchistam, remnants of food eaten by others. Api, also. Cha, and. Amedyam, untouchable. Bhojanam, eating. Tamasa, to one in the mode of darkness. Priyam, dear. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten. Food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So let's see here. I think let's see. So let's read the first paragraph first and then we'll go on. Who would like
Hare
to
Krishna.
start?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Go.
Purport. The purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purity the mind, and aid bodily strength. This is its only purpose. In the past, great authorities selected those foods that best aid health and increase life's duration, such as milk products, sugar, rice, wheat, fruits, and vegetables. These foods are very dear to those in the mode of goodness. Some other foods, such as baked corn and molasses, while not very palatable in themselves, can be more pleasant when mixed with milk and other foods. They are then in the mode of goodness. All these foods are pure by nature. They are quite distinct from untouchable things like meat and liquor. Fatty foods, as mentioned in the eighth verse, have no connection with animal fat obtained by slaughter. Animal fat is available in the form of milk, which is the most wonderful of all foods. Milk, butter, cheese, and similar products give animal fat in the form which rules out any need which rules out any need for the killing of innocent creatures. It is only it is only through brute mentality that this killing goes on. The civilized method of obtaining needed fat is by milk. Slaughter is the way of subhumans. Protein is amply available through split peas, dal, whole wheat, etc. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Would you like to add anything on this particular paragraph?
No, Prabhuji, I'm sorry.
No? Okay.
I'm confused how to express, but this time I pass.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about it. We'll get to it. Okay, so who would like to read this one paragraph here? Then we'll have a third devotee read the rest, starting from here.
I can read, Prabhuji. If anyone wants to read, they can. Otherwise, I can read.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Okay. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Foods in the mode of passion, which are bitter, too salty, or too hot, or overly mixed with red pepper, cause misery by reducing the mucus in the stomach, leading to disease. Foods in the mode of ignorance or darkness are essentially those that are not fresh. Any food cooked more than 3 hours before it is did Prabhuji read already or I'm right reading?
No, we didn't read this.
Okay, 3 hours before it is eaten, except prasadam, food offered to the Lord, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Because they are decomposing, such foods give a bad odor, which often attracts people in this mode but repulses those in the mode of goodness.
You can finish it, Mataji.
Okay. Remnants of food may be eaten only when they are part of a meal that was first offered to the Supreme Lord or first eaten by saintly person, especially the spiritual master. Otherwise, the remnants of food are considered to be in the mode of darkness and they increase infection or disease. Such foodstuffs, although very palatable to persons in the mode of darkness, are neither liked nor even touched by those in the mode of goodness. The best food is the remnants of what is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that He accepts preparations of vegetables, flour, and milk when offered with devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Of course, devotion and love are the cheap things which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts. But it is also mentioned that the prasadam should be prepared in a particular way. Any food prepared by the injunctions of the scripture and offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be taken even if prepared long, long ago, because such food is transcendental. Therefore, to make food antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons, one should offer food to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, here Prabhupada in this purport is so beautifully explaining that Ahar Shuddha Satya Shuddha. That's the phrase it's used. Ahar Shuddha Satya Shuddha means our consciousness will be purified by taking the food. And what is that food? That is not like ordinary food, which is offered to the Lord with love and devotion. that is called sanctified food, because it's offered to the Lord, and that time the food becomes a prasadam. So for each devotees, is the only priority, only recommended by Srila Prabhupada. What he is saying here, that to take prasadam, honor prasadam, first offer to the Lord, then take that prasadam. That prasadam could be maybe cooked in a long, long time ago, that Prabhupada is mentioning, means anything dry, like when we make laddu, when we make dry prasadam, like something salty, namkeen, those things we can keep by making it for, and we can use it for a month, even those stays very well. And those are actually should be offered to the Lord. So here also it's mentioned, what I read in the mode of passion, foods with mode of passion are very bitter, salty, too hot, or very very spicy. So those actually, this also science is involved here. So actually Bhagavad Gita is a science, spiritual science, because it reduces the mucus. Those kind of food actually reduces the mucus in the stomach, which lead to disease. So that's Prabhupada is telling. So that's why it's not good. And food with mode of ignorance are not usually fresh foods. That's Prabhupada also explaining. So therefore, it's very important which food we are taking. That actually also in three modes of material nature also. So these three modes of material nature is everywhere. So whatever we do, our faith, that faith is totally directly proportional to the three modes of material nature. The food what we are eating, that's also, so we are the conditioned soul. So all these modes of material nature is always controlling us. So better to have always the mode of goodness and taking sattvic food. Sattvic means what we can offer, only offer to the Lord. That's a sattvic food. So that's why onion garlic is not considered sattvic. So that's why we never offer onion garlic to the Lord. And also remnants of Supreme Lord is always recommended to take. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that time, uh, Brindavan Das Thakur, Das Thakur's mother, she used to eat every day the remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother, because of her austerity, Vrindavan Das Thakur was born, and he wrote the Chaitanya Bhagavat. He was a great devotee, Vrindavan Das Thakur. So it's so important to have the remnants of the Lord. And so that's my Prabhuji, my addition. Please, back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm sure you have a lot more to say, but that's okay. You have experience in cooking and offering it to the Lord, and you're constantly doing seva in making food for all of us.
Thank
Excellent.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to
Anyone, anyone else would like to? Let's see who's on the call here. All of us have to eat, so we should be able to say something on all this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji then. Yes, Prabhuji, wonderfully explained by Mataji and everybody. So here, Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada is, in fact, Krishna is telling that the fat, is necessary, the good fat, but that fat has to come from, animal milk products, but not killing and, making them suffer and, taking, right? That is not good. And as Mataji said, we have to, whatever sattvic food we cook, it should be in sattvic in nature, and we have to offer it to the Lord and take it as prasadam. So it has to be palatable food and good fat, and of course we know now in shops the kids don't know where the food is coming from, right? In fact, even the meat products, they are packaged in such a way that it looks fancy, but even if somebody goes to a slaughterhouse, and even the kids or even the adults, and see them being killed, I doubt how many people will stop eating. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I think Arjun Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my understanding, Prabhuji. Please add Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I would like to add one
Yeah.
sentence.
Please. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, eating the food that is slaughtered by the animal is not sattvic. It was taught by the Bhagavad Gita. We are talking thousands of years ago, and also today, even the science say that when an animal is set to slaughter, animal sense that is going to die, and the hormones get released in the animal body because obviously, right, when somebody is going to die, the fearness that creates the hormone that gets added to the bloodstream onto the body, and that meat is consumed, and that hormone is getting into yourself, and then look at nowadays the society, how their stress levels are increased, right? That, I mean, the impact of one non-sattvic thing, how it travels and how it impacts the life. So that is thousands of years ago, Krishna identified and he passed on in terms of the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, Bhagavad Gita was treated all the time as a holistic Bible, but not as a science and research that is involved. But if you look Bhagavad Gita in a way that it is a research book, not as a spiritual book, that teaches a lot about the life. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
That's a very good point. That's why the Bhagavad Gita has been called a manual for life. So it covers everything: how we should live, how we should treat others, how we should uh, try and develop our bhakti, how we should, what different types of yogas do, how we should nourish the body so that we can be practicing in spiritual practices. So there is so much to it, and as you said, it treats everything in a scientific way, and it explains everything in a very logical fashion. So when we start reading the purports of Prabhupada, every line has a meaning, and the more we read it, the more we understand. Anyone else would like to add anything? Arjun Prabhu, you're, you'd like to say anything?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, my bad. I thought the phone was on mute when when
That's
my
okay.
mom was asking me something. But I'd like to say that Krishna says in the Gita, like the yogi must be controlled. So everybody is saying that if you follow the scientific point, we as humans need to be merciful, need to be in control, need to be like a yogi. So before people used to be vegetarian, like the whole world would be vegetarian and everybody would be behaved. But now, because almost everybody's eating meat, you don't have to go super far. You can see people are acting like worse than animals. They go outside, they get drunk, they get high on all kinds of drugs. Even in India, you can see that people are just on this ignorance supreme because they don't control their senses. So Krishna says the yogi must not eat too much. He shouldn't sleep too much. Not eat, like sleep little, or also um like be in the mode of goodness, because when we are in the mode of goodness, we can achieve not only peace, we can also achieve connection with the Supreme, with Krishna, and with our masters and all the devotees. But when we are not eating the proper food, then we will act in fear, we will act in anger, we will act in moral ignorance. And being in moral ignorance is not the way to be, because moral ignorance leads to more ignorance. So we need to be always trying to come to the point of being on the mode of goodness so we can achieve, connection with Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Ravi. Yeah, so obviously this topic is a very important topic about food. And in the very first line here, Prabhupada clearly says the purpose of food is to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, and aid bodily strength. So that's really the purpose of food. So we live, we eat, uh, we eat to live, but not live to eat. So that we have to increase the duration of purify the mind. That's very important. Unless we purify the mind, as I mentioned earlier, our senses are not in control, as Arjun Prabhu said, and then that gives rise to we eat uh, tamasic food or good or food in the mode of passion, then our mind is not controlled. And once our mind is not controlled, then that leads to passion. We're already in passion when we eat that type of food, but that passion will increase even more, leading to anger and sense control goes away, and so on and so on. So again, the food has to be simple and well cooked, and it has to be tasty, but it should not be spicy. Heavy spices will will cause damage, uh, which people may initially, some people relish that kind of food. I don't know how they do it, but anyway, they relish that kind of food. But uh, whatever their temporary pleasure is, that is going to they're going to pay for it later on in life. Their gastrointestinal problems, the other problems in the stomach, and once you have that type of problem, then you're always in misery. You're not happy, and you cannot really do anything much. And that affects not only the spiritual life, but it also affects the material life. And it affects how you perform in the job, yeah, and so on. It's endless. All the bad things that can go on with that type of eating that type of food. So here, Prabhupada is explaining how the fatty, the food in the mode of goodness, the protein can be obtained from milk, butter, cheese, and so on, and then lentils and split peas, and like we always eat. And so there's no need for animal protein. The human being is not built to eat animal protein in the form of meat. Uh, so because our intestines are very long compared to the intestine, for instance, of a lion or a tiger, which are which the Krishna has created them in such a way that they are carnivorous uh, animals, and they can they have to eat that kind of meat, but then they also it goes through their intestine very fast. As opposed to us, if we try to eat that type of food, then it's meats and so on. There are people constipating because of that, because there's not no fiber in it, and that type of food resides in the intestine for a long time, giving rise to disease and all kinds of problems later on in life. But that is a choice of people who are in the mode of passion and ignorance. And as you said, even in India, it's become cool or fashion to uh, start eating, different types of meat and cook it with masala and this and that. And yeah, so that's people without realizing. And the reason they're doing that is because they're not familiar with the scriptures. They have not read the Bhagavad Gita, and they have ignored the scriptures, and they're following their own rules. So eating, the other thing with eating meat and slaughtering animals is that animal goes through a lot of pain at the moment of slaughter, and the people who keep slaughtering these and eating that type of food in the next life, as we have read. Uh, well, for one thing, the human being who keeps eating that type of food has a ticket to hell, and because they're demoniac and they keep degrading further in the demoniac path. Uh, but if they, and then on top of that, because they've killed the animals will be born in the next life as a human being, and and this demon may be born as an animal, and the human being that then will take the revenge of the animal. So that we read in an earlier chapter. Now, similarly, uh, food in the mode of passion. So there are also rules about uh, 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 when the food should be cooked. Generally, the food should be eaten within 3 hours of cooking. That is the prescribed rule. So, but we are in this Kali Yuga, and uh, we might do that, but then we have freezers and refrigerators, and so we have to store some of the food. But in general, as far as possible, we have to cook it uh, and eat within the 3 hours. And then it's very important to offer the food to the uh, to Krishna. And there is a procedure for offering that. Uh, First, by eating, we shouldn't eat the food without offering it to the Lord. Uh, so we uh, uh, food uh, that's not offered to the Lord is not sanctified. And it clearly says here, by offering the food uh, to Krishna, then the food becomes antiseptic, eatable, and palatable for all persons. One should when the food is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as it says here. Uh, there are a few other things I want to talk about, but so yeah. See, one other thing is that in Kali Yuga, unfortunately, we are constantly we have to. The life is very fast paced. So, as I think Subhal Prabhu, Gopal Subhal Prabhu already mentioned that even the meats are packaged in such a way that children don't understand where it is coming from. They don't even know what type of meat it is. It is packaged and kept in between, placed in a bun, and they eat that and they relish that. So unfortunately, they start that young, and later on they keep going with that. So this Kali Yuga, so they just move quickly. They have to eat something, on the fly. Uh, like in the publics when I go over here, uh, adjacent to that, there's a place called I think it's Sonic, I think so, something like that. So that's a fast food, just like McDonald's, and there are always a huge lineup of cars waiting to get their food from the counter, from the window. And what they're getting is these things, uh, all the food in the tamasic mode. So it's all fast food, eat anything, and go on. So that's the type of thing it takes to prepare proper food. It takes a certain amount of time and dedication, and we have to do that so that we can offer it with devotion to the Supreme Lord. Because by offering the food to Krishna, it's not that he's going to eat it. It's just that we are all showing our love to him. That's the purpose of it. And then, because of our devotion and love to him, then that food is blessed, and it becomes a transcendental food. And then we can eat the remnants of that food and offer it to everyone, our families, and so on. Anything else? There is a, we don't have time to get into all that, but uh, Krishna consciousness, handbook on Krishna consciousness explains how to prepare food and offer the prasadam to the Lord. I I'm not expert on that. Anyone else wants to comment on that? They can very briefly. Baswati Mataji, if you like to say anything, you can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, you already explained about very nicely about that to Krishna. Actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, His Grace Pran Govinda Prabhuji was telling, like Krishna doesn't need anything. He is the Bhoktaram. He has everything. But for his devotees, he is giving the mercy. So for our benefit, for our purification, we we should offer the bhoga to the Lord. So it's preparation like we can offer vegetables, we can offer roti, puri, rice, milk product, cooking to Krishna. There are a lot of Radharani, Srimati Radharani, she cooked in her kitchen, in Jashoda Mai's kitchen, every day, and it never repeats. In Golok Vrindavan, Radharani is cooking for Krishna every day, and the preparation never repeats. So beautiful, so wonderful, transcendental. So yeah, that's what like whatever you have capacity. It's you do not have to cook everyday bhoga, rice, dal, khichdi, but if you able to give at least some morning and evening fruits, some dry prasadam to Krishna. If you do not have time to cook, it's fine. Or if you are cooking every day, but before taking that, you just offer to Krishna in your altar or in your kitchen area where there is a small photo of Krishna should be there. You can offer to him, and there is a special mantra for offering. I think most of our Matajis and Prabhujis knows everything. I think so. Yeah, and then take that prasadam. Then we'll get Krishna's mercy, his blessings, because we are serving the Lord. That's very important, and Krishna is always happy to take seva from his devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
We should
Mataji.
not
And one,
serve the food, spicy food for Krishna. That's what you mean to say.
Yeah, Prabhupada is telling everything, and also Krishna is
But a
telling.
lot of people eat spicy food, Mataji, like South Indian.
Yeah, Mataji. Yeah, I know, but yeah, too spicy food is also not good for health, Mataji. Especially those red chili powder, it creates a lot of gut problem. You know, you
Mhm.
are the doctor.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Not too much, but medium spicy. Not
yeah,
too much.
medium spicy is good. Like Mataji, it's all depends upon your taste. If you can handle the spice and if it's okay, you not no problem.
No,
Uh,
no, it's not good for the gut, Mataji.
yeah,
It's
that's
very
what.
bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not good. So that's why too spicy. Anything too much is not good, right? That we
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That
It,
we know, Mataji.
everything moderate is good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mataji, the problem is like Krishna is in the stomach in the form of agni. So if you increase the agni, especially from people who have a lot of pitta, it will create a disturbance. So like actually, spicy food is not even supposed to be from Indian culture. They brought it from, I think it was Portugal. Portugal. I don't know who actually brought it, but they're not supposed to be from India. They adapted it afterwards, but I
Oh,
guess everybody Indian loves it. I love spicy food, but we're not supposed to be eating super spicy foods.
super. Yeah, super spicy is not good, but moderate is okay. Like some people like spicy, they cannot eat like very dull food preparation.
Yeah,
They
when you feed this kind of spicy food for Arjun Prabhuji, he will cry. And Max Prabhuji
Definitely.
started
I don't know
crying.
about I don't know about crying, but yeah, definitely I don't like spicy food.
yeah. Yeah, that's why in the temple, when you go to Alachua temple, I never experienced like Even moderate spicy is not, I even taste that. It's very mild, very mild. That should be the prasadam. Like spicy prasadam, anything spicy, hot, red color, too much oil, that's not good. And we have a particular sloka where Krishna is telling about this. I think Subal Prabhu can share tomorrow because it's time now. I forgot that verse. Maybe Prabhuji remember that. Too spicy, too salty. That's clearly Krishna is telling, and we read that one. We are almost in the last, the chapter before the last chapter. Wow, amazing. Bhagavad Gita, you're almost going to finish it very soon. Okay, Prabhuji, back to you.
Yes.
I will be able to keep.
Okay.
Yeah, Raghu
All right.
Prabhuji, next class you should do the quiz, please.
The quiz is too early for the quiz. Next, after this 17th chapter, we'll see.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, one last thing I want to say is that Prabhupada has written a book on higher taste. You should look at that book if you don't have it. And then one other thing is that Govinda restaurants have been set up all over the world. And in Bangalore, there is a restaurant called Higher Taste at the ISKCON. It's a terrific place. I've been there many times, and all the food is out of this world. So with that, we'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo
Namo
namaha.
Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
ISKCON devotees ki jai, Raghu Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat
Have
Pranam.
a great night, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Sweet dreams.
Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji, what is the book name, Prabhu? Raghu Prabhuji?
The higher taste, higher taste.
Higher Taste. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.